All right. Welcome back to the motherfucking podcast. It's
We live?
yeah, we live.
All
It's the Wash Gods in this motherfucking
right. Once again, it's on.
house. Once again it's on, niggas. Draft
Pause,
hard
we
like
never
corn
washed
liquor.
up.
Pause. Yeah, man, it's good to be back. Welcome back, Taji, from
Made it back safely from the wilderness that is Florida.
or as I like to call it, the capital of racism.
I think it's the capital of the most awkward whites. Like, I don't know too many whites from Florida.
I've literally never heard a good thing about Florida.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody in Florida that's listening.
It's like the hills have eyes, except there's no hills.
yeah, or eyes. But yeah, man, welcome back to the pod. Shout out to everybody that watches on YouTube.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the Spotify niggas, iTunes niggas, and Bullhorn. Apparently, I don't even know what that is, but apparently someone listens on that.
We fucking with you.
Shout out to everybody that listens on Anchor as well. Had some new countries pop up in the analytics, so shout out to y'all. Shout out to Australia. Oh, what's up? Whoever listening there, what's good? Well, shout out to India again.
Internationally known.
The UK, Ireland,
Bullet.
Germany.
I don't know what ad-libs go for Ireland and Germany.
But shout out to y'all for fucking with your boys. Yeah, so what the fuck's been good, man?
It's been a weird week. I really haven't done anything of interest. Father's Day was Sunday. I tried my best to stay.
Shout out to all the fathers. Shout out to my father.
Yeah, shout out to my dad too, man. I saw him the day before. Yeah, I did my best to stay low key. I wanted to kind of like detach. I've been feeling the need to see less. So I don't know. I sat back, read a book, kicked it with my daughter for a little bit, and drank. I got a bottle of Uncle Nearest. Shout out Taji, small batch. Probably the most drinking I've done on a day when I knew I was gonna have some shit to do. I knew I had work in the morning, and I was sitting there trying to get my drink on while I'm sitting around family.
So this is Sunday. Yeah. Oh.
Saturday and Sunday, actually. Like, as soon as definitely not Saturday. I was house sitting, man, in the transition before Father's Day, or the few days before Father's Day. And I'm house sitting for somebody who's got money. Let's say that. And
Getting money over here. What it do, pimping?
And I realized, man, I can't house sit for you unless you got kids, man. Because you got all the snacks. All the snacks, bro.
Yeah.
It was 3 different ice creams, nigga.
Probably video games too.
Oh, my God.
I never thought about the
Blankets galore. It's like, it's just comfortable,
I'm
man.
gonna turn the AC up, nigga.
Yeah, bro, I
Get
lived.
cozy.
I lived. The weirdest part about it was I'm washing the dishes or whatever, because I had made like a deep dish Geno's East pizza that they just had in their fridge. It was delicious.
Wealth. Shout out to wealth.
Wealth, bro. And I hear somebody cutting grass. So when I'm washing dishes, I look out the window and I'm like, oh,
It's the
shit.
lawn service.
Yeah, they cutting grass, right? I see like a brunette ponytail. I'm like, do they have a white woman cutting their grass?
Oh man, we done made it.
And I was shocked for a second. Like, I was taken aback. I looked down and I saw her boots, and she was some sort of Hispanic. Shout out to her. But I get out to the front yard and I'm looking in.
Those boots were made for walking.
That's what they do. All in that lawn. But it was weird, man. Cause not even I was relieved almost, cause I don't know how I'd have felt if I seen a white woman cutting grass.
Yeah, I would probably think I'm about to get killed.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, this is a setup, bro. She got to be 12. Like,
yeah, or
and I would have been. I wouldn't have been. I
but
wasn't.
methadone also exists, so it's always a possibility.
I wouldn't have been shocked if it was, you know what I'm saying, like an older black man or even an older white man. Like, I wouldn't have been shocked. It was just the fact that a white woman Like in that setting, it was like if you just saw a lion walk down the street.
Yes. Oh fuck.
You'd be like, "What the fuck happened? What is?"
Yeah.
Nobody has explanations for this shit.
How did we get to this?
Right.
Yeah. Who let it out? Yeah.
But yeah, that was the most memorable thing about my weekend. Other than that, it was just like I said, trying to lay low.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I did this week, man.
It's weird how that shit happens.
Yeah.
Like you won't have done anything, but you won't have done anything memorable either.
I don't have any. I think I've been on my little YouTube rabbit hole shit. So just a lot of TED Talks, a lot of fucking just random ass debates I've been watching.
Same. I watched the Kimberly Crenshaw. I think I talked about it last podcast, but the Kimberly Crenshaw podcast or TED Talk about intersectionality. It was crazy. It was done in I think 2016, but all the points still relevant now.
Yeah, I watched some shit. I watched John McWhorter battle some random white guy.
I've been listening to some of his stuff since the last podcast too.
Yeah, he had like a little debate with a guy about anti-racism versus racism or some shit like that. Mm-hmm. But it was halfway interesting. I don't know, man. Like I feel like it's been like a drought on good content right now. And the world is in such an odd ass place. It's only getting weirder, man. It's only getting fucking weirder. It's like now when I go down my little fucking rabbit holes of conspiracy fun, it's like all this shit about like, you know, talks of a failed state and shit like that, you know. So it's been a little scary, man. It's been I've been trying to keep my head down and keep my head up at the same time. Keep my eyes motherfucking open. But yeah, man. What a time, man. What a time to be alive.
What's your wash moment?
Okay, I was thinking about this today. So, you know, I'm often around a lot of, well, let's say not around. I come in contact with my fair share of goddamn, you know, baddies, I guess, whatever.
Baddies.
The current ethnic term for attractive women is right now. Call them
Susans.
Yeah, yeah, but you know, I said this on another pod about, you know, this is really your quote. You know, sometimes you see a chick and all you see is another nigga problems. But even to that extent, like, this shit sound corny as fuck, but man, this is how I know I'm washed. Like, my deepest fantasies are family related. It's like, damn, man, you know what would be fire, bro? If I just lived on an island somewhere remote and fucking, you know, had my wife and we just we taught our kids ourselves. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like on some super castaway shit. You know what I mean? I don't know.
That's the dream, nigga.
Yeah. And I know that's so washed. Like, you know what I mean? I used to fucking envision fucking 17 bitches in a night. And, you know, and I did that. Not quite, but I don't know, man. Like, just getting older, it's like my idea of a good time has just changed completely. Like, a good time with me to me it's like a lot of times it's just being by myself or in a quiet place, like with some weed and just my thoughts. You know, like, oh, this is a good day, man. I just got, like, that's me. Like, unwinding is like something I'm excited about more than like, oh shit, I gotta go.
Doing nothing is a new something.
Yeah, that part.
It's funny because I think about that just because in my younger years when I first started working, I was like, man, I can't wait till I'm off work so I can do something fun. And then it's like, now it's, I can't wait till I'm off work so I can do nothing.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything. I mean, you get desires, you're urged, and I figure that's the the point in doing nothing. Like, let your mind wander so you can figure out what you're supposed to be doing. Because I always end up doing something. Even this is doing something. But for the most part, I need the space to do nothing.
Yeah, I like the room of. It's a certain magic, man, that happens when you're doing nothing.
Boy.
Like, you know, I think the fun sometimes is not having a story, man. Like, I got enough stories. Like, a lot of times I don't want a story anymore. Like, I used to do shit just so, like, you know what? Worst comes to worst, it'd be a dope story to tell. But nowadays, it's just like, I don't really want to see what's on the other side of that puddle or some shit. You know what I mean? I don't want to see what's on the other side of the forest.
The other side of the puddle. I just pictured a nigga jumping in the puddle and falling all the way through.
It's quicksand over there, nigga. That's how they get you.
Hell yeah. Weekends do be like quicksand. Damn, weekends do be like quicksand.
Yeah, you fall into some shit and now you can't get out, and now like you spend a whole week trying to fight out,
or with it on you. I can't assume quicksand get off you that easy. After you get out of quicksand, niggas gonna know you fell in some quicksand.
Yeah, like, nigga,
so you live that for the rest of the weekend. Like, fuck.
Yeah, you just get into this weird. Like, I got into a weird cycle of like trying to save myself for the next day and shit. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Like, you know, in my younger days, I'm like, shit, nigga, I can sleep.
When I'm dead.
Sleep Thursday, nigga. Whenever Thursday was.
Yeah,
like,
you used to plot it out on an off day. You like, yo, I can hump it this day.
Yeah.
Fuck around, hang out this night, studio the next night. By Wednesday, I can get, when I'm off, I can sleep.
I start looking at shit like, yo, who the fuck was I going to see?
Man, why?
Like, who was that? Like, I don't remember the people I went to see. I don't remember, like, why was I out? Like, a lot of that time I was trying to rebel against myself. Like, nah, you know what? I'm going to be out all night. It's just like, I don't give a fuck. Like, who the fuck? I don't have shit to prove to nobody. Yeah. So, yeah, man, that's some wash shit. It's just like, I could give a fuck less about what's happening.
Yeah, I think my wash moment is, I'm talking to Will. And we were like, yo, it's nice. Like, it's nice outside. We should do something. And we didn't. But
all right.
It made me realize, like, my fear of missing out isn't not being in the place. Like, I enjoy fear of missing out now. Like, it's like, damn, somebody out there on some fuck shit, man. And I'm just here chilling. They gonna call me later and tell me about it. I'm gonna be glad I didn't go.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes, like, that FOMO shit gets to me. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
I'm on the other side of it. I've always been looked at it like the more, what's the word? Sociable individual. Like, I think out of most of my friends. And I don't even know why that is. Because I don't like people.
But yeah, man. What else you got?
You talked about the Russell Simmons shit. I thought it was about his Breakfast Club interview. I think we talked about it in part on another podcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and we can start with that.
Allegations.
I haven't seen the Russell Simmons documentary yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. Is it on HBO Max?
I have no idea.
It's on HBO Max.
Yeah, but
Hi, Nick.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So like it's been, I don't know, man. I felt like since I've been podcasting, it's been all like rape allegations and racism. So
and the occasional political spin.
Yeah, it's some woman listening to this shit right now, like, what? You don't want to talk about these dirty ass niggas that's doing this and that? I'm just like, no, it's not that. it's just, you know, the story. It's Monday. It's a story as old as time, man. A powerful man does some sick shit to women. I'm not saying it's okay, but I don't know, man. A part of me feels like as we said about racism, and you know, I've heard women have this argument with me. It's like the way you talk about racism is the way, way you talk about the sexism shit is the way people talk about racism. Like well, you shouldn't have been wearing that, and blah blah blah. And I'll never say that about sexism, but sometimes I look at like this has nothing to do with Russell Simmons because I haven't seen the documentary, but sometimes I look at like the situations people get themselves in, and I think like, yo, if I know this situation would be weird as fuck, why the fuck don't you know?
I had that same conversation.
And maybe I'm hyper aware, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's my superpower.
Yeah, I was like, yo, there's certain niggas I won't hang around just because I know they the type of street nigga I can end up in some shit around.
Yeah.
So if I know not to hang around them, just based on what I'm trying to do that day, like, or what the plans I have for myself, I'm not gonna put myself in a situation where I gotta commit to some shit that I don't want to commit to.
Yeah, it's just certain.
And there are situations just like niggas fuck around and get locked up on some humbug shit. There are situations where you don't control the circumstances and some wild shit happen. And we're all well aware. I think that what's weird to me is I've dated women who have had all the women I've mostly dated have had some experience with either abuse or sexual abuse, like whether it be physical. And all of these women now that we're older are starting to have children. You know what I mean? They have their own lives, and we see a lot of these same scenarios repeating themselves. Not to say that like their children necessarily, but just the women around them, like the young lady Toyin from Florida who disappeared and then popped up, or they found later dead, was murdered by a black man, and Twitter was in an uproar about that because in the middle of this protest, you have this black man taking advantage of a black woman who was labeled a social justice warrior.
Yeah, I think maybe the point I want to make, and I don't want to make this in correlation to Russell Simmons, but the point I do feel like should be made more often is maybe we just got to do a better job of teaching our women who not to fuck with. And I think obviously men have to, the guys who aren't those guys kind of have to, it's kind of our job to give away game, but also women too. Like, I think women have to talk to each other more about, like, what the fuck is going on with them. Like, it's not so important to, like, bash dudes when you, like, or tell the men, like, oh, you need to talk to your homeboys. If anything, you need to talk to other women when you have these weird interactions, so, like, they never, like, you can prevent a lot of shit.
Because I'm sure a lot of the people sharing the same stories now in a public setting draw out more people who have these same interactions.
Yeah, like, to be completely honest, like, I was out here at the time. I'm not out here no more. And I used to hear weird stories about, like, certain dudes, you know what I mean? And I could never confirm or deny them because, I'm not in them rooms. And, obviously I'm not Spider-Man, so I don't go crime fighting and shit. But, so I'm sure, like, things happen, So I think a lot of women would be in a rush to tell dudes so they could, like, try to, like, destroy a dude's, assassinate his character.
Or get somebody to try to press him.
Yeah, and I think that the smarter thing is tell every woman, this motherfucker's a weirdo. Do not fuck with him. Like, that dry up the pussy in the city. Make this motherfucker have to do other things. Like, I think that's the better option, better than, like, going on Twitter and saying.
Niggas will be like, damn, bro. Because don't nobody, like Freddie Gibbs said, man, don't hang around a nigga that don't get no pussy, man. Because he always going to fuck it up for you. And trust me, man, there are men out there who will come to your defense.
All right, Taji, you should clock in. Take a piss.
Well, Taji, as he leaves one role and assumes another. Come on, man. Cop a squat. The inaugural man in front of the camera.
Ooh. Not normally in front of it. So I apologize to everyone.
He's clean shaven, man. You all right, bro? You got on a nice hat. your attire somewhat matches. We good, bro. We getting money. But no, man. How we've already talked about the Florida trip. I guess off the pod, a little bit on the pod.
Yeah.
But since you've seen the outside world, man, how's it been?
Disgusting.
Really?
Yeah. My wash moment was me getting on a couple of kids. I was trying to get on the elevator at the same time as me and my family. Just me and my 2 sons.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, nah, bro. Clearly read the sign. You can't be on here with us. And it was like I felt like I was scolding. Well, I was.
Yeah.
But it felt right. It felt justified. Like Reed, he was a teenager, man.
I mean, I get it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta flex, especially if you out of town. Like,
Yeah.
You don't want to always be the bitch, and because if it's a resort, now it's like they can just do anything around you. Who knows what happens in the buffet line, or at the pool when there's only 2 noodles left, and your kid's got to get one because he can't swim yet, and they just want to fight and blow water on each other and shit. You kind of got to check them at the elevator, at the door, literally.
Because you give them an inch.
They're going to take a motherfucking mile. Whew.
Especially, I'm sorry, Floridans, I'm sorry, y'all are crazy.
Yeah, it's nothing good in Florida, bro.
Floridians.
It's nothing good in Florida. It's a lot of cocaine, and I guess if that's what you're into, cool.
Well, not that trip.
No, not that trip. Okay. Yeah, and it's a lot of Republicans. Yeah. And it's nothing wrong with Republicans, but it's everything wrong with Republicans.
I was wondering where you're going.
Yeah.
All right, man. We can slide in.
All right, yeah.
I'm sure it won't be a small cut if you want to cut it.
Nah, he had a wash moment, man. We kept it light. I figured you weren't gonna be going long.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, I guess
man.
the overall point is, man, if somebody ain't in the know, man, send them a telegram. Do something.
And the thing is, I know I was talking about this shit before, obviously. Like, I want women to talk to other women about this shit. But also, like, I would have women tell me about certain dudes that they said was weird or whatever, like, within the scene. And, like, tell the police, motherfucker. Or tell, like, what the fuck do you want me to do? Like, as Neil Brennan said, do you want me to round up a posse or some shit? Like what do you think this is? Like I'm not, just because I'm against racism, but I don't go out and just shoot random cops.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm against crime, but
I
I can't fight it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm definitely against the crime of all that shit, and I don't want that shit to happen to any woman ever.
And I think it also gets played as like almost like gossip. A chick will gossip in order to slander your name, and it could be egregious, but because it's done in the context of gossip, it loses a lot of its validity, if any, if it had any to begin with. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't believe what a woman tells you, but in a certain context, like, I gotta know you. We have to have had conversations. You can't just be mad at a nigga and tell me he did some shit and expect me to move on it because we cool in social settings. It's your word and it's his word and it's the truth. And if I don't know you like that and I don't know him like that, I can't be held accountable for what he did.
And listen, like, it's atrocities going across. Like, this is gonna make me sound like a complete piece of shit, but I'm ready. It's atrocities happening across the world, man, and I know about all of them, or some of them.
Enough.
Plenty of them. You know what I do? I go to work. Because that's what I got to do. Like, I'm sorry that shitty things happen. But we can't just start attacking random black dudes that don't do shit. They're just actually doing the right thing. Like, as I said, like, on Twitter, like, it's not really my job to stop niggas, man. It's my job to not be one of them niggas.
Yeah,
you know?
and that's a full-time
That's all
job.
I can do. I can teach my sons if I ever have one or have any. Like, this is how you move. I'm definitely gonna teach my daughter what kind of nigga to look for. Like, and I think everybody got to do that. If you had these traumatizing experiences, the least you could do is tell women tell other women what to look for. Cause that's the point I wanted to get out. Cause a lot of times, chicks will tell me about a dude, and like, I've been young, and I'm like, damn, that is fucked up. And you know, I might meet another chick that knows the same dude. Like, yo, you might want to, you know, relax if you around, homie, because I heard this, and this. And then they be mad at me because they say I'm hating. Like the whole abused woman theory. Like,
Right.
you'll try to save a chick who getting beat up, and then 2 weeks later she back at the crib. Like I think that a lot of that shit get lost in conversation too. Like.
Yeah,
Because I can tell you some shit about a nigga. Are you gonna receive it as me telling you the truth, or are you gonna receive it like I'm hating, or I'm trying to like get ahead of him because you think I'm trying to fuck too, or whatever the case is?
A lot of anything I do for you is based on how you view me. Like, so in certain situations,
or how you view men overall.
That
like,
too.
You know what I'm saying? If you feel like everybody vying for your pussy or everybody vying to fuck you, and I tell you like, yo, so-and-so is a fucking weirdo, man. You might want to chill. And then you looking at me like, oh, this nigga mad because he popping or whatever. Then it's like, well, you know what I mean? That's why I kind of like swayed away from talking on somebody's story that I don't know. Because it's like, I'll jump out there and tell you some shit. You call me a hater, go fuck with him, then come back and tell me the same story. Like, oh, well, motherfucker, like, you know what I mean? Like, that shit is I'm not saying that I want to stop doing it because it's annoying, but just understand when you hop on social media and do all that, men are trash. Don't say men are trash because, you know, niggas be trying a lot of times. A lot of niggas like stop trying because they got in all these weird predicaments and they just, you know, got frustrated. Like with most things, like with racism, with sexism, with everything. Like, people get to the wall and they just say, you know what, fuck it, this is what it is. So that is my sexism rant. I hope you enjoyed it.
Be back here next week, man. We'll take on the deeper issues, relationships. No, we'll never talk about those.
Yeah, I don't need to. I'm good.
Conspiracy theories?
If that's where you want to go.
I mean, I think that it's interesting now that looks like we lost lights.
All of the lights, all of the lights.
Turn off the lights in here, Taji.
Extra bright, I want them to see this. All right.
Yeah, but nowadays it's so much going on. There's an influx of conspiracy theories from all different angles. The most recent one I heard, I just thought because Juneteenth was being more visible and everybody saw it was coming up on the calendar. I've never seen a Juneteenth celebration, so I figured niggas barbecued and did fireworks. So whoever let off their fireworks or didn't let off their fireworks from Memorial Day had leftovers and was letting off fireworks on Juneteenth. The day after, I also noticed there's more fireworks.
Do niggas know barbecues are racist?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I think you should. Picnics too.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Google
it. All my black people. Yeah, Google
one of the
racism in barbecues and picnics.
Damn, this is a conspiracy theory with a conspiracy theory.
Yeah. I just wanted to throw that in there.
It's not a conspiracy.
I want to throw that in there while I was thinking about it. Just Google it.
Yeah.
You know, picnics, barbecues. It's not good. Anyway.
All the fireworks are basically the government trying to get us. The conspiracy theory is that the fireworks you hear, or the influx of fireworks you hear, is the government getting us used to loud noises like gunfire or artillery blast.
Being like on the north side near an airport, I always get nervous when I hear like planes flying.
Same.
You know?
Anytime you see military helicopters in the air, you're like, where the fuck are they going?
Yeah, like, oh shit.
Are they coming or are they going?
Nigga, are they dropping Agent Orange on this house, nigga? Like, what the fuck is happening? Like, every time something flies over me, I assume it's dropping some shit on me. Like, all right. Like, it's some invisible COVID gas or some shit. Like,
I remember it was a story where this family got paid by United Airlines. I believe it was United Airlines. It was Soul Plane, just so we don't get sued.
Snoop Dogg paid him.
It definitely wasn't Delta. It wasn't Delta.
It was Kevin Hart's airline.
The plane was purple. But this guy was sitting in his house.
Monique CEO. All right.
This guy was sitting in his house, and all of a sudden, this huge blue block of ice just falls through his roof, and into like his living room or some shit. And apparently, it was the toilet from an airplane. Like it flushes, and I guess it's so high up. Maybe they freeze it. Maybe Taji can give me the science on this shit.
It's called blue ice. And on like MD-88s and 90s, the lab system has this shit called blue water, right? It's like a cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
So where they fill it up at was leaking, and when you in the air, it freezes.
Yeah.
So it leaks there and then drops. So they had a fix for it. They put heating element up there.
Oh, so now it just rains shit on your house.
It's not. It hasn't been through the toilet yet.
Oh, okay.
It's the fresh one.
Oh, okay.
So basically, I don't know if Taji y'all caught any of that, but Taji said some science words, and
Yeah, it was very prolific. A lot of shit y'all wouldn't understand, but basically it confirms that my story is true.
Yeah.
Where some shit fell through a nigga house, and almost killed him and his family. But that could happen. If that could happen, I don't think it's far-fetched to think that a helicopter may be spraying some shit, or an airplane or a drone may be dropping some shit, especially based on the fact that the National Guard is in the city. It's been in the city, and it's not as far-fetched now.
yeah, it's definitely not a pleasant thought to have so much military around. Do you want to get into the age shit?
Yeah. The other conspiracy theory I had was that there's this conspiracy theory. I went on a deep dive. I guess this would be part of what I was listening to too, but a deep dive on podcasts recently, and just looked for different shit I hadn't been listening to. Started with crime documentaries. I went back and listened to Atlanta Monster about Wayne Williams, and I got stuck on this podcast called Conspiracies. I think the guy's name is Adam West. But
Shout out Batman.
maybe it's not Adam West. Maybe it is, bro. I might be right. But yeah, it's this podcast
Yeah,
called
2 careers. R.I.P. Adam West.
Yeah, R.I.P. the Great. Yeah, he came back on Family Guy.
Yeah.
The legend.
The legend, the God.
But they were talking about how polio might have been the onset of the polio vaccine might have caused the onset of HIV in Africa, and how they were testing polio vaccines on Africans in Belgian Congo.
Side note, I really want a conspiracy song.
Yeah, we got to get a conspiracy theme song, please. So
if you listen, don't be afraid to write a conspiracy song.
We
need
might have to
jingles.
get something X-Files-esque.
Yeah.
And
I need
really,
some S-Files X producers. Fuck with the God.
but
Anyway.
long and the short of it is, they were using monkeys to come up with these vaccines, and they lied about the type of monkey they were using, and the monkeys had a disease called SIV.
The monkeys were black people. All right. All right. I'm black. I can say it.
But no. That comes later. But they started using these vaccines, and they killed like 11 kids, so they had to stop. And then after that, another scientist came around, and he picked up where this scientist left off with the vaccine, but used primate organs and primate test subjects, which are like chimpanzees. Pardon me. And chimpanzees are a lot closer primates to humans. So when they developed this new vaccine, they went straight to human testing. And the fact that it was built off the old vaccine, it still had SIV in it, and they had no idea how it was going to react to humans. All of these things are facts. What isn't sure, mostly because of the way science works, because science is kind of like the law, and the scientists that carry out said scientific experiments are kind of like police. Like whatever they say kind of goes. They stated that HIV came about because these people were eating bushmeat, monkeys, shit like that.
Yes.
And because of the fact that they were eating it, it got in their bloodstream, and they eventually developed a disease. But
Let's get
all
into
of
my
these
conspiracy
things,
bag.
all of these things correlate with the same time period of them giving all these people polio vaccines.
You know what they said about COVID?
Escaped from a lab.
Or they said it came from Asian people eating bat meat.
Yep.
Sounds awful like.
And that's why
like
both
AIDS.
of these podcasts,
Yeah.
both the podcasts I listen to about their conspiracy theories have so much relevance to everything happening now. And I thought it was kind of interesting. Like, man, this shit has been happening forever. Even listening to Amber's podcast, shout out Amber North, man, with Amberland. She had a really, really black podcast called Us recently. And in it, she's talking about just the history of African Americans, breaks down certain scenarios like the Tulsa, Oklahoma City bombing, or the Tulsa, Oklahoma bombing. Random fact, we just came to realized that the Gap Band is from Oklahoma, and GAP is an acronym. It stands for
Greenwood, Archer, and
Point.
Yeah.
And those are that's the intersection where the Tulsa, Oklahoma bombing was.
Apparently, it was one of the richest parts of Black Wall Street. So.
But yeah, you hear all these conspiracy theories, and then after you get to not even conspiracy theories, stories about how black people have been treated, like the Tuskegee experiment, shit like that. And you're like, man, this shit get dark after a while. Like, it'd be really depressing. And they wonder why.
That's why it's black.
We make fun of everything. It's like, what? A lot of the shit that phases y'all, that y'all take seriously, be a joke to us, because life be real.
Yeah. I think, it's funny because, when the whole COVID shit was, popping.
Trying to light this little roach for 5 minutes. Go ahead.
When the whole COVID shit started popping off, it was a lot of news reports showing how black people weren't practicing social distancing and all that. And I started to feel like, oh, the media works 10 steps ahead. It's like, all right, let's go ahead and show black people not social distancing.
That way when they start dying.
No, not even that. Fuck that. So, you know who we need to test on? Because they're the most, they're going to say, yo, black people get it the most. So we got to test on them. That's the whole fucking game that's being played. That's why niggas niggas are the most infected. I'm like, why? How do you know that? How do you know that? Why do motherfuckers just...
Because look at us.
Exactly. People really just watch TV and be like, well, they said it, so it's true. That shit baffles me every time someone's like, well, how do you know that shit? How come you don't ever use your own mind and be like, yo, what the fuck have I actually seen with my own eyes?
The biggest part of this shit that made me feel like it might be some funny business going on, or there's some funny business going on, and they was like, yeah, only essential workers. And I go outside every day, and I see everybody outside the whole time, to the point where the first 2 weeks, I'm on my toes. I got hand sanitizer, wearing plastic gloves every day. By week 3, I'm literally not giving a fuck. I'm not doing it most of the time because I'm clean anyway. I see the nasty shit that people do on a regular basis, and I avoid it like the plague, like you should do. I heard some shit where somebody was like, yo, at this point, all you got to have is common sense. But the way the world is, it's not a lot of it out there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Walking around as a black man with mask and gloves ain't never been a good look for me. You know what I mean? I don't think it's the safest thing to do.
They just shot somebody in, I want to say, I don't want to get it wrong.
I feel like the whole mask and gloves is all right, let's just set niggas up to get them shot. It's you're going to have all these random niggas walking around in masks and gloves at night. What the fuck? It's just not a good look for us. And all the black people can say what they want, you know what I mean? But don't always accept that how the fuck, I don't know. It's a lot of shit to go with it. They be like, well, black people have these underlying issues. Yeah, I mean, maybe, but America's one of the fattest countries, probably the fattest country in the world. So I think diabetes is probably rampant across all races. So like the whole shit that all the narratives that I've been hearing, like it's so easy to hustle black people sometimes. You know, I love my people, but
Yeah, the young man that I was talking about who recently got shot, his name was Elijah McClain.
oh yeah, the deaf guy, yeah.
And he said, I don't think he was deaf. He was in Aurora because he played the violin.
Okay.
But they said he was talking about being an introvert. I think he said he was deaf.
No. It's a deaf guy missing right now.
Is
no,
it?
No, yeah,
Damn,
yeah.
shit crazy. But yeah, he was shot because he had on a ski mask and gloves because he was anemic. And I guess he had on headphones, and somebody called the police on him. We got to break ourselves out of the habit of calling the police on people, man. If you know it's on site, for us, that's some white people shit, man.
All right, let's slow down. I hear what you're saying.
I feel like I do feel like certain situations need to be judged accordingly. Like
what is judged accordingly though?
There are plenty of situations where I've had to make executive decisions when there was no police in sight, and I wasn't gonna be able to get in contact with anybody to make a difference, and I had to think critically. Like, I do think that yes, the police are here for a reason. Because I was gonna talk about the defund the police shit and all the confusion that's been going on with that as well, and the fact that Atlanta PD, in particular Zone 6, a lot of their officers just have been calling out of work. So we may be in a situation where we're going to have to fend for ourselves anyway. But they didn't have to call the police on Rayshard Brooks. They didn't have to call the police on Elijah McClain.
I know, we got to stop doing that. Because, yeah, I agree. But nah, motherfuckers got to learn how to do their job, man. That's the beginning and the end of it.
Yeah,
There's
that
no
is,
excuse to shoot a motherfucker who's drunk and asked to be, like, just put him in the back of the car. Fuck it. Arrest him. Like, there's no reason why, like, you need to do none of that shit. So, nah, man.
Yeah, I'm not excusing any of that behavior.
Because once we get into that whole language of that, it's like, oh, don't do this. Well, just don't call them. It's like, nah, fuck that. Motherfuckers either need to know how to do their job or not have a job. Like, that needs to be the beginning of the end of it. Like, no one should be paid to be that grossly incompetent.
Until...
No one, like, ever.
Until
like, I get the idea, like, amongst us, let's not do this, but, like, I work retail. Like, so you think if like I said, like I talked about it on the podcast. This is a car full of niggas outside of the job when I'm about to get off. They all just chilling. Like, should I roll the dice and be like, for my people over some money that's not even mine?
I understand.
Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't think that's the good idea of doing that. Like, fuck them niggas. Like, you know what I mean?
Within reason, I do understand the reflex to call for help in situations where you don't.
It's not even help.
You don't necessarily.
It's just like, yo, nigga, this is your job. You're being paid to handle weird situations.
All right, this is true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they need to do their job better. Like, they need to, or I get the defund the police is a cute idea, man. But realistically, it's like, I mean, crime happens, bro. Like, we gonna act like crime don't exist. Like, niggas can't get too much in their emotions to act like. I'm not gonna be one of them niggas like, what if somebody breaks in your house? Who you gonna call? Like, I didn't call the police. Them niggas don't do shit. But at the same time, I think the fear of police existing does probably
and that's part of them doing their job
a certain
too.
percentage of crime. Like we gotta act like, because there are opportunistic people. Like, they're always gonna exist. So to act like them folks don't exist and to err on the side of, like, emotions because we saw some shit. It's like, yeah, but at the same time, there are shitty people. There are really serial killers. There are really people that murder people. There are really rapists. There are really terrible, awful people that exist. And we can't just leave it up to good faith.
Watch.
Yeah, and all that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we kind of, even if they niggas don't do their job at the greatest, like, sometimes just the idea of getting caught might deter a certain percentage of crime, I think.
What's weird about the police I was thinking about today is that I hear people saying, like, not all cops are bad cops.
I don't think that.
I don't think that either. But what's weird about it is I think
the system is bad.
I do look at the fact that I don't have any friends that are personally police officers. I think that says a lot about the type of person maybe I am and the type of person they are.
I don't think
Like, I never grew up with anybody who wanted to be police officer. I can't think of anybody in middle school that I went to school with that I see out now and that's a police officer.
I don't necessarily trust anybody that rushes to like an authoritative position.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think there's something weird about that, but at the same time, I've had many encounters with police, not all awful. There's been times where I'm like, man, you know what? He could have took this further, but he didn't. So.
And I've even gotten a chance to interact with police officers on a person-to-person basis, but I don't. And like I said, I don't think all cops are bad cops, but I do understand that I don't really know this individual.
And I think the system is flawed, which is the bigger problem.
Yeah.
I think the bigger problem is the way the system is set up. I think some of those cops that I think are decent people would operate better if the people around them were being prosecuted,
Yeah.
or being
And they wouldn't be
held to a certain standard.
And they wouldn't be ostracized or fired because they did the presumably right thing.
Yeah. I think being a cop is like being black sometimes. It's like, a lot of niggas that do terrible shit, but what you want me to say? Fuck niggas forever? Like, what you want me to do? So I don't know. It's a weird position. Like, I sometimes I kind of, I'll never say I sympathize with a cop because, fuck them. But at the same time, I understand why they don't. They be like, why don't you speak out? It's like, motherfucker, do you know what's going to happen if where I'm going to go?
You going to pay my bills?
You going to make sure I'm straight? Like,
yeah.
When the whole police union and everybody or motherfuckers know where I live, they know my kids, they might do me like they just did your ass, nigga. Like, it's a fucked up position. Sometimes people just fall into being a cop. They don't even know how fucked up it is until they become one. Like,
yeah, if you haven't seen the 7-5, I don't think it's on Netflix anymore, man. But the 7-5 is a good documentary.
That's a great documentary. Yeah, about the Brooklyn police force. But I'm gonna ruin the podcast again by taking a piss. Sean keeps y'all entertained.
I guess we'll talk about some other shit in the news. For all those that haven't been keeping up on NASCAR like I have.
Oh, yeah, Bubba.
My nigga Bubba Wallace, man. They tried to intimidate, scare, harass my nigga Bubba Wallace. They put a noose in his I almost said his locker, like we hooping. But they put a noose in his garage, and I guess he found it and made a statement, or he found it and made a statement. And I guess today they had a race, or this weekend they had a race, and during that time period, NASCAR took the time to all show a sign of solidarity and walk alongside his car. Some old white man in a big hat hugged him and told him he was a good boy or some shit. I don't know what happened, man. I still just don't trust NASCAR, and I wouldn't put it past them to have pulled a publicity stunt in order to get people into NASCAR right now. NASCAR is in a privileged position to be the premier sport. It's a social distancing sport. Everybody can watch it. Like, motherfuckers ain't been in the racing since Days of Thunder. Like, this is their time to shine. And if they got to put it on the shoulders of Bubba, I mean, they might do it.
Yeah, man. Apparently, we're talking about Bubba Wallace, but
if the FBI find out that NASCAR and Bubba prop this shit up to be a hoax, man, he gonna have to sell shrimp.
all right.
He gonna have to find a nigga named Gump. They're gonna have to put together a business.
Bubba Gump. I fuck with that. They gotta make gumbo. Bubba Gump.
Yep.
I'll be there.
Either that or he gonna fix cars, nigga.
But yeah, man, shout out Bubba Wallace, man. You keep getting hung, my nigga. No, I'm joking. YouTube, don't flag me. I swear to God, if you'll flag me for that,
We should hang out.
yeah. Hell yeah, that's what you get, nigga. You fucking with a Confederate flag ass league, nigga. What the fuck you think gonna happen, nigga?
You by yourself.
Stupid motherfucker.
You on an island, nigga.
This nigga on Fiji, nigga, trying to find a nigga. Nah, nigga, you're lost.
You're by yourself.
It's only beach here, nigga. Nah.
Shout out Bubba Wallace,
bro.
man.
We stand with you, bro.
we stand with you.
We got a
bro.
Black Lives Matter card, bro. We fuck with you, man.
Yeah.
The long way. If not the short way, for sure.
Shout out to you. What you been listening to?
You want to get we got what else? You got? We had other topics. What else? You
Did
got?
we?
Yeah, for sure.
We talk conspiracy, Bubba Wallace, Russell Simmons. It's like I guess we could touch on because this kind of had something to do with the Russell Simmons shit. I swear I'm gonna watch it. I'm just not looking forward to it. It's a lot of shit around it. So I really haven't.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, we gotta do equal opportunity. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Russell Simmons' weirdo shit. We gotta talk about Chris D'Elia too.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna talk about.
Yeah, so shout out to him.
I haven't seen any of the text messages or direct messages, but apparently he had been talking to fans, and it turned out that they were underage. It's a lot of convoluted storylines, but I think this is probably gonna be a messy one. Anytime you mess with somebody underage, shit get weird.
Yeah, it's tricky with Chris D'Elia because he also played a child predator on multiple TV shows.
Not one but two shows.
Played it very well, might I add.
Great.
Since everybody's shitting on R. Kelly. Let's talk about Chris D'Elia. No. I don't know that nigga, but and by nigga I mean white male that rapes kids. No, I don't mean that. Allegedly. So I don't get sued.
But
Chris D'Elia, don't sue me, man. Just stop raping little girls. I'm stopped. All right, I'm done. All right, cool.
Yeah, man, sue draft. But no,
you sick motherfucker.
I don't know.
Allegedly. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, man.
We back.
I think we covered that one thoroughly. Got all the facts.
Yeah, man. So yeah, do your own research, man.
Chris D'Elia need to stay away from.
Keep that same energy y'all had with R. Kelly. That's all I'm saying.
Stay away from social media, Chris.
You know what I'm saying?
Until
we talking racism. Let's keep that same energy with Russell Simmons.
Out, bro. I think he's got a real peer group, man. He got too big to be really on that bullshit.
What black guy has survived a child rape allegation?
None of them. Ask Chuck Berry.
So let's keep that same energy, black people.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about Chris D'Elia. Y'all all retweeted his Blapkins fucking Eminem parody and shit. Let's retweet all the rape allegations. Let's keep it 100. Same energy. Same energy.
Do your thing, Black Twitter.
Do your thing, do it. Yeah, man.
More killer for Skrilla.
Yeah, man. So I don't want to hear none of that shit. Like, everybody's so quick to take down black men and shit. Let's take down this white man.
And mean it.
Yeah. Y'all took out Bill Cosby, nigga. Chris D'Elia is not Bill Cosby, yo. I'm just keeping it real. Like, if we're gonna let somebody slide for rape allegations, like,
don't let nobody slide, man.
Bill was giving his money back, bruh. He rapes, but he
saves.
Oh
shit.
Yeah. But what the fuck you been listening to?
Yeah, nah.
Yeah.
What have I been listening to lately? Still Alfredo, man. I can't even flex. I recently went through another Karunga band. It's like they're releasing this new album, a song at a time. But I mentioned it on the other podcast. I think it's called Mordecai. Time, You and I, Pelota, and So We Won't Forget are the only 3 songs that are out on this album right now.
Shout out Karugabin.
I also listened to Side C off Texas Sun. It's the first time I've heard that song. I played Texas Sun one time through, and wasn't in love with it because I'm not the biggest Leon Bridges fan. But I must have been asleep during this song because when it came on in whatever playlist I had them in.
Somebody just sent me a Leon Bridges song.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What else did I listen to? Lindo by Wanderlea, which is a sample I can't think of it right now. Just because I don't want to play it on the pod, but I meant to pair up some of these samples. A lot of this shit will probably pop up on Hughes from Monday Blues when I decide to do it again. Maybe NERD. I've been listening to. Shout out to you, man. After Hours, The Weekend.
Yeah, After Hours was cool.
I went back through a bunch of Sampha Under. Famous Amiro Bay. A lot of Anderson .Paak and Knowledge shit. I listened to a lot of No Worries and listened to 1988 again.
All right.
I think that's about it.
I'm looking through my recently played right now. I hope it doesn't freeze my logic. Lil Flip. Shout out Lil Flip, man. You gotta feel me. He had a joint with Graph, and Gravy that I really fucked with back in the day. It's called Where I'm From.
Cloverland, man.
Yeah.
I'll let your boy.
Kanye West, Late Registration. Shout out to Yeezy to Don, Easy to Go. What else do I see? Blue in Exile.
That's an interesting
Below
one.
the Heavens.
Yeah.
Just give me a second. My niggers, and by niggers I mean niggers. Ooh, I can say it, but you can't. Let's see if I can. YouTube, don't flag me. I guess that's about it. I'm trying to. That's the pod I wanna find. I just started listening to.
Oh yeah, I guess I could talk about why you do that shit.
This. Shout out to the Glenn Show. It's a really dope podcast. It's a black guy. He's a professor at some smart college. Smartsy, artsy, fartsy type college. He has glasses and he says big words. So anybody into black guys saying big words and wearing glasses? No. But seriously, shout out to the Glenn Show, man. Definitely is a different side of blackness that you don't get to see on TV a lot. So I think it's important for black people to see the whole spectrum of black people. Stop just seeing a motherfucker in kente cloth and a fucking kufi. You know what I mean? Like, black people, we have varying opinions, a lot of times. It's okay to not agree with a motherfucker that looks like you. Everybody else gets to do it.
Yeah,
but somehow black people always gotta be like, black people, we gotta get on one accord. But white people never gotta get on one accord.
Yeah.
Why the fuck the niggas gotta be on one accord? Why do I have to agree with this stupid motherfucker? Nah. We ain't doing that. Black people are allowed to have different opinions because we're not just one thing. We're not a monolith. That's the popular word, as niggas have been saying. So
it's
yeah,
crazy. I was about to say that shit. I was thinking. I was like, damn, we're not a monolith. I went through that whole thought process. I was like, yo, I should say it right now. But everybody been saying it. I'm not gonna say it.
It's monolith time.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's like morphin' time.
I went on. Let our powers combine. Did you say that first? Shit. I wasn't even listening. But what I was gonna say was I went on a deep dive of I don't know if I think you've probably heard of him. I don't think Taji's heard of him. But Coleon Noir, you know who that is? Coleon Noir is a stupid name, first of all. But
I agree.
But he's also NRA member and a black gun advocate.
Oh, I do know that guy. He was on Joe Rogan.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was on Rogan again. And he talked openly about voting for Trump. And I was like, damn, bro, he really got that strap on him at all times. Because to get on Joe Rogan and say that, like now, you're inviting a whole world of smoke. But he was talking about, he was like, yeah, I really don't want to. What he was saying was,
The smoke ain't real, man. Let's be honest.
I don't think it is.
Let's be honest, man.
But
at one point they're like, ooh, Jesus Christ!
I think you got to act
my
as if the
shirt
smoke's
turned
real.
red. I don't have a hat on, but it turned red all of a sudden. And Jesus Christ, I hate saying this shit out loud, but keep it real, man. Like.
If you were a betting man,
like in life, who's gonna rob you or shoot you first? Who are you more afraid of? You just had to play a race bet.
a race bet. On this side of town?
On every side of town.
I know what it looked like.
I'm just saying what color that person?
I know what it looks like. Yeah,
All
we're
right.
black.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So, we gotta fix ourselves, man. We gotta fix ourselves first. We gotta definitely fix ourselves.
I forgot what the point was.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, podcast I've been listening to. The name of the podcast that I was talking about earlier about the polio, origin of AIDS being polio vaccine, and another good one they had is coronavirus 5G. It doesn't. It's just a show about conspiracy theories. It's not
about that actual
stance.
theory. Yeah.
It's not a stance on whether or not they believe in it. As a matter of fact, they make a point to see how believable they are based on their common sense and personal opinion. But the name of that podcast is Conspiracies, the show. Nigga's name is Adam Todd Brown.
Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to mention. Let's see if my Spotify actually downloaded. I was trying to do it from my laptop, and it won't. Well, it didn't. But it was actually a podcast that I'm not gonna be able to find. But it was about Karl Marx that I listened to recently.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I gotta start wearing gray shirts.
Yeah, you gotta decide. You making a stand.
Gotta start dressing bland. His life was very interesting, man. I'm not advocating any kind of Marxist views, but
I think you gotta understand certain things like that, so that
as
way
I say, man, study the past, you understand what's
Right.
going on right now. So just
you got to be able to observe it and pick it out in the behaviors that are happening now. This shit's weird.
yeah,
This shit's really weird.
yeah.
What you been listening to? We
We
already talked about that.
Yeah.
What you been watching?
What have I been watching? I finally watched. I just watched the. I haven't finished it yet. I haven't really been watching much, man. Honestly, like, if anybody listens to the pod, like, put me on some shit, man. Like, I feel like it's a dead time for media. It's a lot of the same shit. A lot of Black
Definitely.
Lives Matter influence topics, and
I've been staying far away from that shit.
all the corporate entities are trying to, like, force unity on us, and it's just like, motherfucker, like, we've been begging for this shit, nigga. Like,
Right.
now all of a
All
sudden,
this time, it took millions of dollars
Yeah.
and corporations to be built before y'all realize we have value.
and it's like they're only statements, man. We'll see about it in 10 years.
Speaking of white crime, I watched Alpha Dog this weekend. Have you seen Alpha Dog?
Yes, I have.
It's a very good movie in retrospect. I'm not mad at
I
it.
always liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Justin Timberlake was being a piece of shit. I was like, damn, he's finally playing himself.
Self, right. I'm like, damn, bro, they play these roles too well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You're a fake piece of shit that keeps stealing black culture and making it worse. Shout out to Justin Timberlake, man.
Shout out to you, man.
I love you, bro. I love your music. Keep disrespecting us, man. I see you on Beat the Shit Out of you. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm just playing Justin Timberlake. We love you.
Yeah, man. I heard he's like a white Drake, man. You might want to be safe.
Hell yeah.
The Swiss Beat shit. You want to talk about that?
Oh yeah, shout out Swiss Beats, man. Nah, man.
You do a lot of backpedaling, Swiss.
Nah.
man.
I love Swiss for it. He ain't backpedal.
Did he?
Yeah, he just said it wasn't the proper platform. He didn't backpedal on the words.
I think making any statement after you call a nigga pussy is kind of backpedaling. If I got to
I
readdress,
think he was protecting his brand.
if I got to readdress,
he wasn't protecting the statements. He protected his brand because he said this wasn't the proper platform for it. He didn't say, I retract my statement. He never said that once. So I respect that. Shout out Swizzy. Light skin beef. Let's keep it going. Let's let the mulattoes take themselves out.
Yeah.
And I'm just joking. Shout out Taji.
Well, that's all I got. That's all I've been watching, man.
All right, man. So this is the this podcast is going to be called "Let's Get Canceled." Yeah, man. I ain't been watching. Yeah, I don't have shit else. I guess we're washed but not washed up. I don't know if you got something else you want to throw in.
Washed but not washed up. Thank you for everybody who's been listening, subscribing, all the texts that I get. I promise.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody that's been listening. Like I said, shout out to Australia, man. I just popped up on analytics. So shout out to Australia. Shout out to India.
Yeah, my job don't allow me to interact as much as I would like to, man. But thank you. I appreciate all the feedback.
Shout out to the UK. Shout out to Germany. Shout out Ireland again. Ooh, I just knocked some shit down.
It's cool, man.
I guess we're washed but not washed up.
Washed but not washed up, man.
Else? Yeah.
Nope.
All right. Yeah.
To the next episode.
Yeah. To the next episode. Shout out Dr. Dre. Yeah.
Shout out Dr. Dre. Ain't nothing but a G thing.
I know. I want to throw one more in there.
It's still running.